All right, so kids, such a shame that we got stopped out today. I'm sorry about that. It is what it is. We traded twice this week. Both times we got stopped out. Both. So far we are 0 for 2 this week on trading days. Oh, quiet that down. So let's see what I can do with this. Get this over here, and I'm gonna look at some charts together. All right, so as I mentioned, bad trading this week so far from me. I have just been like a rookie, like I'm 18 and I'm just starting in 1982. Because we lost on Sunday night, we lost again today. Me, I got stopped out right near the low. I don't want to discuss that. Sorry, kids. Head down, nose to the grindstone. We do this again tomorrow. But yeah, no good trading today from me. All right, so I don't know if you can see. I'm hoping that you can see the screen and some charts. I'm going to probably look through a couple of charts with you in a few moments. On a happier note, my daughter's performance last night, well, her practice performance went pretty well. And today's Wednesday. On Friday night, we'll find out how she does with her first little concert. I actually have to go back to the music store today and buy more parts, but it's all right. She needs wireless headphones and microphone, which she has, but it requires a cable. I'm going to get one completely wireless where there's no cable involved. Anyway, so markets, let's go take a look at the chart back here. What number? They're numbered, not lettered, so I don't know what's what. I got to remember them all. All right, Russell first, I guess. I guess we're doing the Russell first. All right, so Russell 2000. Last night's analysis, we are above the channel, right? Smartly out of that channel. Above the 9-bar average. Omni turns green. All right, why not? Let's go for it. And this is what happened today so far. Went down, came all the way back up, and it's right in the middle of the range. But when it went down that low, it stopped us out. So first it stopped us out, and now it's kind of starting to head back up. But it is what it is. We were wrong. That bar, I was expecting green, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Take a look at this. We still have the E-mini S&P weekly bar. This is 1 week bar. I mean, it still looks as wonderful as it did yesterday, even though we're having a down day. And that's because it's a weekly bar. We won't know what this looks like till the end of the week, and it's completely populated. But if you were looking at that weekly, today isn't scaring the weekly at all. The overall, downward move we've had on the daily, today makes it scary. So anyway, let's go back to thinking of dailies. Why? We were just looking at this chart, if I remember, it was number 4. And we expected that this would be a green bar day. Omni was green to begin with and would go up. So, why, barring the Omni, of course I always follow Omni, why would I be expecting that? Well, 2 things we mentioned were above the average, which usually keeps this in check, and if you get above, it runs nicely. And we're above the channel. So why would I think on top of that it should go up? Well, take a look at this. Look at the transportation average. This is not there yet. This is today's bar. This is last night's. I didn't mention it. I was just kind of using this for my own knowledge, leaving it off to the side. But being that the transportation average, which has kind of been the leader of the down move, filled its first gap, right? It left a gap here. Well, second gap, I should say. Filled the second gap, first gap, second gap. So after it left that gap, It went lower, but then it finally came back and filled it. Had a little pullback. After these 2 up days, looked to me with a green Omni like we were going up to fill this gap. So I thought we'd get another, at least one more up day. You know what I mean? Get up there, fill that gap, and then maybe it's exhausted. But it didn't get there, at least not yet. We'll move this out of the way. We'll add in today's bar. And look, we have a down bar so far. Now, that little dash to the right, which is right here, that shows you the last price in the market. Well, it didn't stay. Let me try that again just so I can illustrate for you. Anyway, this last dash on the bar shows you the last price. What is happening is that, let's just make it red so it looks like the bar. What is happening is that the market, get an ellipse tool if I can get one. All right. The market dropped, right? It opened, it dropped to the low, but it's all the way back up near, for transportation average, near the high. Right? So maybe today, Wednesday, ends up there. Who knows? Right now, we know we've got this. It opened and dropped all the way to here. And since then, it's been rallying, and now we're back to all the way up here. So if it continues, I mean, the bar could end up turning green by it going up above yesterday's high, which we would love to have seen. However, us Omniacs have already been stopped out, so it doesn't matter. I just thought I'd show you what I was looking at. It looked like we would go up here and fill this gap. Gap never got filled, and that's that. Scam likely. So I just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully you'll see what I was looking at, and whatever. Analysis is analysis. Head down, nose to the grindstone, and we do this again later. So Mega How To Man in YouTube asks, how does this crash compare to other crashes in your lifetime? It doesn't. It's not a crash. This was controlled. Not only controlled, it was telegraphed. And we were forewarned for months. This is not a crash. So what I'm writing is this. The question, how does this crash compare to other crashes? And I wrote, this does not compare. Because, my reasoning, I'll put in the chat room, this was controlled and telegraphed, and we were forewarned for months that this was going to happen on purpose, right? And so this is not a crash. I mean, a crash is when something breaks and the economy goes the other way and everything goes wrong. When you try to take a market down and it goes down, it's not a crash. It's the market being controlled or cooled off so that it does calm down. Big difference. This is not a crash. A crash is, oh no, we don't know why this is happening. Let's put all the brightest minds behind it. Let's see what happened. Let's come up with a plan to fix it, right? That's a crash. This is, hey everyone, next year we're going to raise rates. Next year we're going to raise rates. Then come the end of the year, hey everyone, don't forget, in about 3 months, we're going to raise rates. That's going to create a little pain. And then we get into January. Don't forget, very soon, maybe next meeting, we're going to raise rates. February comes around, hey everyone, get ready. We're going to raise rates. We got to cool this market down. March comes around. We raise rates. The market starts to cool down. How's that a crash? Explain to me how that's a crash. It's completely controlled. Now, I'm not saying the movement's controlled. The idea behind let's stop this runaway train from going down the track way too fast. This has been planned. Not just planned, pre-planned. We were told about it, warned, saw it coming. Fed kept mentioning it. We know when you raise rates, it stops the market from going up, and here we are. So how come everyone's so caught up in this, oh my God, it's a 2008 style crash, the markets are bad, something went wrong? Nothing went wrong. We cooled this down by pulling a mechanism that the Fed has access to that sometimes slows down the train. That is not a crash, kids. I'm sorry. You can call it anything you want. 41 years watching, I am telling you that is not how a crash works. That's how the Fed mops up liquidity and slows down the economy. It's not a crash. So the other side of it is, look at this one chart that we've been looking at. Does this really look like a crash to you looking at the weekly chart? You know what I'm saying? Does it look like a crash, or does it look like it's just setting back after years and years and years of going up? Right? I don't know. It doesn't. This is a crash. Let's see, COVID crash. Well, boom. That's a crash, right? This was a crash. Because it's, look how quick. Boom, boom, boom. These are weekly bars that just don't stop relentlessly. But what this one is doing is slowly repricing itself. And when did it start? As soon as they started raising rates. So, just so that you know that this is absolute, they came out absolutely saying rates are getting raised in January. They said for sure this year we're going to start to raise rates. That was basically the top. Here's where they started raising rates. And once they started raising rates, you know, it did what we expect it to do. But it's not in the form of straight down, like something broke like that. See what I'm saying? This, look, this is, wow, look at how direct, well, it's not even that, it's way worse. Boom. This is, look at how sharp the drop is. All right, if we can just get these lines over a little better. The drop is this sharp, right? Boom, that is a sharp drop. This one, that's not how the drop looks to me. Let me get rid of these. There you go. The drop is not nearly as sharp, right? It's more like this. So you got this compared to that. This is a crash. This is a pullback. My opinion, anyway. That's correct. This is a bear market, not a crash. Big difference. So it's a bear segment. Now, can it turn into one? Not a crash. It could just turn into an extended bear, because a crash usually starts when something breaks, a mechanism breaks. But that's not what happened. It's not how we started this, right? A mechanism didn't break. A trigger, a lever was pulled. So what we really need is the price of crude to go down. Now, let's forget all the other day trading voodoo for a moment. I did promise you that if crude hit a certain level, the market would go up, right? So let's see if we can find an E-mini S&P chart here. E-mini S&P chart. Forget the flags, forget the voodoo. Let's pull all this stuff away. Let's get everything out of here. I'm going to show you something. So, and believe it or not, check YouTube. I've had knuckleheads fighting with me about this. People who just, they know because they know, but they don't know jack shit about how to read charts. I have people that have argued with me about this. Oscar, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you do what you do. The charts will tell me what they tell me. So, everybody knows me by now. What price did I tell you? If anybody wants to answer this for me, what price have I told everybody you need the price of crude to get the market to go up? Does anybody know what that price is? And we did have some kind of a chat room here for YouTube. I don't know where it went. It's a little bit missing at the moment. Oh, there it is. 77. Thank you for paying attention. 77 is correct. All right, so for all the geniuses out there that think they know what's going on, yes, so we had a couple of bad day trades this week. So what? I'll have a good month. Let me show you how this shit works. 77. I am so tired of people that think they know what they're doing. All right, so, and I told you this way before it was going to happen. All right, so let me show you. Crude chart. It's one of these up here. Bang. When I said the price of crude, let me move some of this crap out of the way for you now. Same chart we've been looking at. I've been showing this to you for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. When I gave you a projection, 83 and 77, we were up here. I said when it gets to 83, then we expect a little bit of a pullback. And once we get back to 77, the market will react. 77's the spot that makes the S&P go higher. 77 was my target. That's what hit right here. Bingo, done, target achieved. Now, right here, the market hit 77, and what does the S&P do? I believe that's on here. Boom, it starts going up. Do you see that? As soon as crude hit 77, the market reacted. Now, where's crude? Just a couple of days later, crude is back to 88. Where's the beloved S&P starting to go? Back down again. Interesting, right? So, for you people who were arguing with me about that 77 mark, is that not proof right there? Learn from me. Don't argue with me. To the guys on YouTube that were literally arguing with me about the price of 77. Proof in the pudding right there, kids. Now, that was called months before it happened. S&P kept dropping. Once crude dropped, it hit 77. S&P immediately started to react. Now, crude's back up, and S&P's reacting the other way. So there is a big thing going on there. Paul K., thoughts on government using U.S. strategic petrol reserves to bring down prices, 40-year lows on reserve levels. Here's the thing. We don't really need the reserves anymore. That was for when, before we knew we had so much oil here and had to shale and had to get it out so easily and become the world's leading crude producer and exporter just 2 years ago. Right? Just 2 years ago. So do we really need the strategic reserves? We can get oil like that. I mean, if we have to just push the president out of the way and drill for oil, we can, right? At some point. So I don't know that the reserves are as important to the price of crude as they used to be. To be honest, I don't think the reserves matter even slightly. We don't need them anymore, so what's the real difference if they're half full, three-quarters full, full, empty? We got a ton of it here that we can get like that. We have the infrastructure, we've got the product, we've got the want, we just don't have the green light. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We'll have plenty of oil the next time we get a president that gives us a green light. But just think, 2 years ago, the price of oil. 3 years ago, the price of oil was not zero. It was $40 below zero. So there is a shot that we can see the price of crude come down. The U.S. can produce a lot of it if we're allowed to. If we're allowed to. Anyway, just thought I would share. All right, so I guess at some point today I'll have to get my Facebook back. I usually post to it every day, so there is a large enough crew that follows the videos there and such. And this live would probably be going on Facebook as well. I guess it's time to get it back. What a shame that it got put in limbo 2 weeks going. I'm like, I'll get it back at some point. I'll send them my ID at some point. It's like I have no care at all. Isn't that sad? Facebook used to be number one. I'm not saying anything bad about the company. I think the switch to Meta is genius, and I think it will pay off in the end. And I think he's lots of guts to be the first one to. Maybe it cost him $50 billion to do this, but he's doing it, right? He's bringing the world into the metaverse if it can be done. Hail to him for doing that. But at the same time, Facebook isn't the big game anymore. Nobody, it's not the big name. Yes, that absolutely does make sense, Mega How To. Alright, so anybody else got anything going on? I do have to leave to go to the music store again today. I'll show you what I'm going to buy in a minute. Who gets the money from the sale goes into government coffers. Well, hold on a moment. There is one thing that people I find a little bit crazy. You just saw a cup with the handle, huh? Was it this one? Mega How To Man in the YouTube chat room says it makes sense to sell our oil. Oh, excuse me. It makes sense to sell our oil at high prices, later on fill it up at low prices. My question is, who gets the money? Well, the United States government gets the money, the coffers. It goes back into the one place that everyone in the world doesn't want to chip into, which I can't figure out. I get it if you don't live in America, but if you live in this country and you don't want to pay any taxes, but you want the government to bail us out when necessary, bail out your bank so it doesn't go broke and you got your money when necessary, give you unemployment, have garbage picked up every day, all the stuff that goes on, protect us from the rest of the world, strategic oil, let it out, but you don't want to kick in any money to taxes to the IRS, right? No, they don't deserve anything. They're a business that deserves to not make any income, but they have to pay us every dollar that we want. If that's your attitude, please get the out of this country. Do me a favor, get up and go. Because ass-kicking country that stands behind us and gives us crap when we need it, and if you're not willing to pay some money in taxes, just some, come on. Imagine if you ran a business where everybody who walked in the door wants your stuff for free and won't even give you a donation at the end of the year. How long would your business run? So for you people who even question where the government gets money from, or do they deserve to get it? Oh my God, who doesn't not want to pay taxes, right? We all don't want to pay. We all do everything we can to not pay. Big companies will domicile out of the United States to not pay. You will do anything with your accountant to get your taxes down. Yet, what do we want from the government? Everything when something goes wrong. Please cover us in every way. So you really should, people out there listening, you should be happy to pay your taxes. This is an alert I'm going to punch myself in the face for. I know it's going to be bad. What is this stupid alert I'm hearing? Oh, dear Lord. After getting stopped out, S&P is basically back in the area. Oh my goodness. Stop was too shallow, kids. I'm sorry. So annoying. See that alert? Back in the 90s, we got stopped out. No doubt, crypto. You got to give in something. Come on. And our government doesn't ask you for 50% of your money, 70% of your money. And it gives you 1,000 loopholes. If you want to start a business, you can write this off and write that off. And, kick in a little bit, people. Don't you? Next disaster, who's going to pay for it? Where do you think the Fed gets their money from? Anyway, Yeah, emotions are out. I want to punch myself in the face. Look at where the S&P is right now. We shouldn't have even lost today. God, I hate when that happens. It's just the volatility is so grand. I mean, how much risk are we supposed to put on stops? You know what I mean? That was already a pretty darn risky trade. And I dropped my stop way lower than the stop. And it still got hit near the low. And now we're pushing near the highs. Well, crypto, I'm with you, Crypto Cat, in the YouTube chat room. The problem is that many people who take these remarks haven't been overseas. I'm with you. Look, I've shown this to you before. This is why I have an opinion about this country and the rest of the world. I deserve one. If you look at this globe, every spot that you see is a place I've been on this globe, right? Everywhere this globe is covered by places I've been to. So I am not just speaking when I say these things. I've got my experience, you know what I mean? I have been all over this planet. And I've seen the way it is, and I'm telling you now, there is no better country than the one I'm in. I don't care where you're listening to from. This is the place to be. I've seen some places that seem nice for a few days, but I would never want to live there. So what is this appointment that keeps coming up on my phone? What is this that I keep silencing so it doesn't bother you guys? And of course now it's not there. Oh, I've got to call somebody back. Anyway, I was going to show you what I'm going to go to the store and buy in a few minutes. So let me show it to you. It's in my text. I am going to get this bad boy. Well, thank you, Crypto. I've actually been there several times, but not recently. What just happened to the camera? Oh, there it is. That was interesting. I put my phone in front of that camera and it froze things up. See that? That's what I'm going to go to the store to get shortly. Make my little superstar's life a little easier on Friday night. But it ain't going to be cheap. Now on this, I'll probably take the insurance. I never take out insurance, but you know, $600 item, $20 it's worth insuring, right? $100 item, $20 is worth insuring. You starting to feel bad for me, Obi? Don't feel bad. This is my life. Don't worry about it. Obi in my trading room says, I sold half at 37.82. Now I'm starting to feel bad. Don't feel bad. At least you didn't get out at the lows, kid. Nothing wrong with selling 37.82s. You cut your loss down to a little bit. So where is the market now? I'm going to have to look because I haven't been looking. Oh, 97. That's it. That's it. Uncle Jack. Be gone. This is what I get for getting stopped out today before it rallied. Can you imagine? I'm getting some feedback in my microphone. You know, I'm thinking the gain is up a little bit too high. Let me see if I can do something about that. Oh my God, it's 38.01. I'm the worst. Let me see if I can do something about that. That was filters, global settings, not there, no. That was here. Filters, microphone. Give me a moment to figure this out, kids. I'll see if I can clean it up for us. Edit filters, gain. Oh, it's 1.5. Try a different area. Maybe it's this one. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Maybe it's this one. Let me try to gain on this volume setting. Edit filter. Go to gain. 2.5. Let's take it down to 1.5. 1.6, 1.7, we'll leave it there. Now, I don't know if I have to end the stream in order to find out if that worked or not, but I cannot believe we got stopped out on the lows and then it turned around and rallied like this. I'm so annoyed at myself. God. All right, I adjusted. Hello, hello. You're on your way to Candy House. Yeah, same thing. All right, I'll see you over there because I got to go hit the music store anyway, so I'll see you shortly. All right, thank you. Oh, pond additive. That's you, Daniel. Thank you. I had that stuff in my pond. All right, so what I'm going to have to do now, kids, is let me see if I can find something. I got to cut out for a little while. I've got to go to the OMNI 2 house and meet one of the workers, and then I got to go hit the music store and buy that wireless mic I was just showing you. Of course, I'll be back for after chop time because both of these things are pretty close. So I'll see you for the afternoon. My apologies for getting us stopped out and having this thing rally in our face. My bad, kids, but I can't control markets, only how we behave inside the volatility. Anyway, I'll see you when I get back from the music store. Remember, stops are in, emotions